week with them Royalty Boys. You are tuned in live to the Aspiring Artist Showcase. I am none other than Stony Hill, and next to me we've got...
Hey, you got your boy Cat 9 in the building. What's going on, good people, on this marvelous Monday?
Yes, sir. And then none other than the third member in this thing, them Royalty Boys. That boy.
It's that boy Mark 11 in this thing.
Yes, sir. How y'all boys doing today?
Man, we doing good, man.
That's good. That's
Another
good.
week. Let's get it rolling.
Chilling with a Marley.
Yeah, man.
Hey.
Every little thing. Okay. But y'all had a great weekend, man. I know we just had that open mic, man. It was pretty good. What y'all
Yeah,
think?
man. Good turnout at the open mic,
Yeah, I
man.
think we did it for the first time, man. That was, hey.
Oh, yeah, man.
Success.
I
They
ain't
looking
did,
forward to another one.
You already know, man.
Well, hey.
Shout out to those people that showed up, man, before we go past that, man. Shout out to them people that showed up, man. We had old DT Beautiful Bride in the building.
Yes, sir.
We had Aaron in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Who else we had in the building? Young
KP.
Certified. We had the Street Preacher,
Yes,
KP,
sir.
the Street Preacher. Yeah, you know, so we appreciate that love, man, for real.
Yes, sir. So, like I said, you tuned into the Aspiring Artist Showcase with them Royalty Boys right here on 108 Praise Radio. If you want to call in, as always, you can call in, talk to us, talk to our wonderful guest who I'm about to introduce to you in a second. And that number is 770-988-6461. Once again, 770-988-6461. So call in. We would love to chat with you. But you know what? Today we have a wonderful, amazing, beautiful
Talk about it.
pop and contemporary Christian artist who goes by the name of Brittany Marley. How are you today?
I'm good. Happy to be here.
Hey, we happy to have you here. Now, we so happy you here. You down in the A-Town on Flow, all the way from North Carolina. What part of North Carolina is that?
Asheboro, North Carolina, not Asheville, not the mountains.
Okay.
More like the zoo.
Okay.
North Carolina Zoo.
All right.
Clarify.
Truly. Well, we appreciate you coming in and kicking it with us today on the Aspiring Artist Showcase. So tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about, your music, likes, dislikes, something about yourself.
Well, I am you said contemporary pop. You do get that kind of feel from some of the music. Some of it is traditional.
Okay.
It might sound a little country, but that is not intentional. That's just the Asheboro.
That's that NC. Yeah.
That's just the Asheboro in me. But yeah, I've been singing since I was a little girl. Basically just because of my dad and his guitar.
Okay.
He's always carrying around that guitar. He still plays that guitar every single day. And he's always like, baby girl, come
Right.
sing this for me. That's how I
Right.
started singing. He
Okay.
always had me sing something for him. And I
Okay.
could never say, I can't. Because I didn't know that I could sing. You having me sing these songs. So it's always like, how you open your mouth to say something, but you don't know if it's going to come out. That's how it was.
Okay. Right.
But he's the one who got me singing. And, he was in his own gospel group. He was the lead guitar player. And he still plays for churches and things like that.
Awesome. That's what's up. So, what are some of your favorite artists, growing up? Who'd you like to listen to?
It was a lot of the Williams sisters. Do y'all know who they are? The Williams sisters.
Williams.
Step by step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. Yeah.
The Williams sisters was my favorite group, and Deborah Barnes. My grandma used to listen to her. She's the one who turned me on to Deborah Barnes. She was cleaning up, and me and my sister were up there, and we just I heard this. Her voice is just so angelic. Y'all obviously know who Deborah Barnes is. No, Deborah Barnes? Luther Barnes, that family?
Yeah. Luther Barnes. Yeah,
Deborah
I used to
Barnes.
listen to
Her
Luther.
voice
I like
is
Luther
so
Barnes. Yeah.
pure and angelic. It's like the best. Is what I think heaven sounds like. So she was one of my favorites. It was Lee Williams.
Oh yeah.
A lot of that. So it was basically Lee Williams, Williams sisters.
He was on that
Deborah
old school.
Barnes, my dad. That's what it was.
Yeah, good talk.
That's what it was.
That's what's up. No girl groups back in the day. 'Cause I'm looking at this bio now, and I see one of
you
my
talking
favorite
about-
groups on
Yeah.
there. I see one of my. I'm just gonna keep it real now. That was one of my favorite groups.
Escape. That's the one you're talking about.
Nah, I ain't talking
TLC.
about them. They were good too, though. But I'm talking about TLC.
Yeah, Escape, TLC, and then everybody was in love with Aaliyah.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's
You
true.
know.
Yeah.
Super classic.
They were like one of my favorites. We actually had it in middle school, because all of my friends used to have me sing for them at lunch. So in middle school, we formed like a 3-girl group or whatever, And I would write. That's when I started writing music. I would write our songs, and in social studies, I would just, because that was the most boring class to me. So in social studies, I'm writing music, and I would put our names, you know, by what verse, who's going to sing what. So we had a little group. We never sang outside of school. We did, like, they let us sing the Star Spangled Banner, like every Friday for almost a month. And we were in chorus, so you had these Valentinograms. So you would buy one for, like, your crush, boyfriend, or girlfriend, and you would circle a song that you wanted us to sing. So we would go around and sing those songs. But the whole chorus did that. That just wasn't my group. But we never sang, like I said, outside of school. We did, like, karaoke and school dances, and that was about it.
Okay.
But we did. I wanted to have the style like Aaliyah. I wanted to be, like, laid back. I wasn't in the gospel. Like, I didn't want to be in a gospel group back then.
Okay.
It was, like, laid back. You know, Leah was just chill with
Yeah.
swoop and, you know, little, you know how she dressed.
Yeah.
Swag girl, like a big girl style, but you know, on the R&B side.
Yeah, I just thought she was just so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Super influencing. So coming up in school, and you know, I guess being influenced away from, even though the roots were at home, you know, with gospel. So what were some of those, I guess, challenges? Were there ever, like, any spats that maybe you and your dad had? Because I know growing up, like, our parents want us to go one direction, but, you know, we have our peers and our friends, and, you know, you're trying to balance church and, you know, just school, or should I say the secular side of things. Like, what were some of those challenges that, or were there any challenges that maybe you and your dad?
To be honest, no, because with my dad, it is whatever you want to do is what I'm going to support you in doing. And I would say I said I wanted to be a singer, but I was always scared to kind of do it alone.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I wanted it to be a group. And to be honest, and I know my sister is watching right now, she is supposed to be sitting here with me right now. We were supposed to be like the Mary Mary.
Where you at, sis?
You know what I'm saying?
Where you at,
Sis, what
sis?
happened?
She swears up and down, I cannot sing anymore. I cannot sing anymore. But we are supposed to be here together. But as far as like the spats or anything like that, it's just whatever I want to do is what I wanted to do. And whenever I decided I wanted to sing was when I was going to decide when I wanted to sing. And as far as whether I did gospel or R&B, that was never a conversation. Like, I always sung gospel at home with my dad. Like I said, his guitar.
Right.
And in church, I was in the choirs and stuff like that. But I didn't really take it seriously back then. It was just one of those things like, dang, you know, I want to go on Apollo. I want to be like this person. I want to sing like this person. I want to make people feel how Deborah Barnes made me feel. But I was just scared to do it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because I am, like, shy. And then you have those insecurities where you just kind of feel like, because most gospel singers have that, you know, back of the
Raspy,
throat.
like,
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That's not me. I'm soft. You know what I'm saying? My voice is soft. But Deborah Barnes' voice is soft. Then you think about Jonathan McReynolds now. His voice
Okay.
is soft and
Yeah,
pure. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right. Yeah.
So, I mean, and he makes it very easy for artists like me to just come in. So,
Paving the way.
yeah.
So it sounds like you definitely wanted more of that grace, or the graceful side of things with your sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's just how it just comes out. I don't even, when I write, it's nothing specific that I'm trying to do. And I don't try to, I used to try to sing like other people, but you can't be other people when you're trying to walk in the calling or be who God calls you to be. You can't act like somebody else. So this is the voice that God gave me. That's what I'm going with. And then whatever I write is just how it comes out.
Sound like it's spirit led.
Yeah.
Totally inspiring.
Very, because if it was not for God, I would not be sitting here with y'all. Like, when I say I did not want to do this by myself, I'm so serious. I don't want to do I still do not want to do this by myself.
Yeah.
But he's called me to do it by myself.
Okay.
So I'm going to be obedient and do what I have to do. And just
No,
get
that's
over
right.
it.
Don't let the Lord.
Definitely
Yeah.
gonna bless you and fill you with all you need along the way.
Yeah.
But hey, that courage. I think I was just talking with somebody about, you know, just us and our faith walk, and, you know, building up the courage and the confidence, which you think about faith in and of itself. You know, it requires that we have that, you know, in order for God to be able to move. You know, without faith, it's impossible to please Him. So it's like,
Absolutely.
you know, what are we putting forth in order for God to be able to move on our behalf? You know what I mean? To take us to those levels, you know, because other than that, it's just a dream.
Right.
You know
and
what I
then
mean?
when you grow up, like, hearing people say, like, this is just my story. Like, when you say, well, Brittany is good, but she's not such and such. Or Brittany is, but. You know what I'm saying? That kind of is like, makes me pull back a little bit. Well, I'm good, but what? You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
So that
right.
was a part of it too. So yeah.
All right, yeah, we're gonna move on and get into a more personal aspect. My boy Stoney normally open it up with a little. Who was the artist, right? Without the music.
Right.
All right, now we were cutting the music off. Who is Brittany Marley? Tell us about Brittany Marley.
Like I said, I'm from Asheboro, North Carolina. I just want to get my age out the way. How old do y'all think I am? Oh, I shouldn't even ask because everybody says.
I'm shocked 'cause I wasn't going to ask.
I mean, I
I
just
wanted to ask, but I wasn't going to ask.
because
It's
when I
just
tell y'all
playing
how
the
old
guessing
my
game.
son is, y'all gonna be like, huh? What? Huh?
Oh, your son. Okay, so now you put a little more years on
now
your
you-
son.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I am.
All right. Now, you were saying something about some singing in school. I thought you were still in school.
Just take a guess.
All right. Okay. All right. So with a
Be
son,
nice.
be nice. with a son. How old your son?
13.
Your son 13. Truthfully, we on a gospel show now.
He's 13.
He 13. Hey, that's a little hard one right there. We're gonna give you about 33.
Oh, okay, good. You too.
I would have came lower than that.
You was gonna say like 18. Lower than that. Don't
I
say
mean,
lower than that.
No, not that young. Not that young. Like I would have thought maybe between 26 and 28.
Good gracious, I must be terrible at
Are
this.
you lower than 18?
No, I wasn't at 18. No, I wasn't at 18. But it just seemed like he started high, he went low, and I went the lowest.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
What you got?
I mean, it's going 24.
30. I just turned
30.
30. in February.
Okay. All right. Okay. 30.
So I'm 30, and outside of music, well, my dad has his own business in demolition, so we all kind of work for him. I do the paperwork side. I don't handle. You know.
I was about to say,
I'm
you
not
out there
on-
getting your
I'm
hands
not on the
dirty?
field.
No hard hacks.
I'm not on the field. No. I'm behind the scenes, behind the computer.
Yeah, I figured Dad was in there somewhere heavy, you know, flying with you and keeping the guitar with him and getting you to sing and, very great inspiration. So
Oh yeah.
I figured Dad was in there somewhere. You know, I ain't
That's
never heard
right.
nobody
That's
say the dadager.
No.
They got the
Exactly.
momagers, but I ain't never heard the dadagers.
No, but my son calls himself the sonager.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm no lie. He will tell me if my song sucks, like in the rough, if I'm playing it. You know what I'm saying? He will
Wow.
tell me if it sucks. He will tell me if it's good. He will tell me what I need to change. If he does not like some run, he will tell me
Hard crowd.
everything. So yeah.
Yeah, them kids
Old
don't keep it
truth.
real with you.
That's true.
They don't keep it real with you now. They
Yeah.
don't cut it down.
He
Now I see
definitely
over
does
here in your
not.
bio now, you talking about all this, your insecurities about pressing into music and things of that nature and holding back, I suppose, right? Because you didn't have your sister with you or whatever the case may be. But somebody encouraged you to record, and it turned out good. So how did that experience start off?
Singing in church, everybody would always ask me or, tell me that I need to record music. But honestly, like I said, I was too scared to do it by myself. But they did encourage me. And then my dad and my sister and my mom, they all pushed me, to go for it. So I recorded my first EP, God's Got It, which came out in 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, which came out in 2014. And that did good. I did it because people were asking for it in church. That's how the whole recording process started. So.
There are a lot of people pushing you. Okay.
And then, when God wants you to do something, it's that nagging
That right?
feeling that you just can't run from. So,
No peace.
no, none at all.
Really?
Because I've tried other things. Like, I went to school to become an elementary school teacher. So, we tried that. And then you can't really do lesson plans and try to do music full time. So, I went to do work at a child. Y'all did that? Y'all did that? You know that?
You know about that lifestyle.
You know about it? It's hard. Like
It
you,
is.
like it's people say you can do both, but that is to me that is not something that you can do. So anyway, I went to teaching at a learning center to where I worked in the after school program, which was easier, and I was the assistant teacher, so I didn't have to do like the lesson plans. And then during the day, I worked with in the infant room again.
Win-win.
I'm sorry.
Win-win.
Yeah, so I didn't have to do infant rooms have to have lesson plans too, but I didn't have to do any of that. I was just kind of a floater during the day, but I had my after school program. And so I was there and kind of like, you get comfortable and you think, even in relationships, I would just be comfortable and be like, I don't have to do this. You know, I could just be a teacher, and just be normal, and
Yeah.
just be comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Stuff started falling apart at work. It started falling all the way apart. So I had to, okay, God, I will move on, and that's when I recorded my EP, because it was
Okay.
time. I was kind of putting it off to the side, so
I know that right.
messed that all up for me.
Thank you, Jesus.
Be happy about it.
Hey. Well, question I'd like to ask, and then I'm gonna get back to this EP real quick. I just want to ask this because I like to ask this a lot of times, especially with gospel artists. What's that one verse that pulls you through? And I know we all have our problems at time to time when we get to our low points. What's that one verse in the Bible that you just go to that's just like, that's gonna pull me through?
Let's see, because my mind just keeps going. It's not a pull me through. It's just a reminder.
Hey, that
You know,
works.
everything is permissible for me, but everything is not. You know, like that verse reminds me now. I cannot quote. It's in 1 Corinthians.
Okay.
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 It's chapter 6.
Okay.
Somewhere in there. That verse reminds me that, hey, just because I have all this freedom to do.
I Met You. Now that's the first song I actually heard when I heard we was interviewing you. So that's one of the first ones I heard, and I see that landed you a feature in the Lovers magazine. How was that for you?
It was good. Shout out to Lovers Magazine, because they, since that single came out, they have pray about it. Basically talked about my experiences in the church and how they weren't always, you know, so great. I wasn't always treated right. But in the article, I made a point to make sure that everybody knew that I'm not church hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's a difference between being church hurt and just getting your feelings hurt by people in church. I'm not deeply scarred. Like, I never... What happened to me, it never made me just be like, you know, no, I'm never going back to church. I'm done. I just, okay, you know, it's a little bit crazy over here. Go to the next church. It's a little bit crazy over here. I just kept moving until I found, you know, a church that I was comfortable at and a church that I enjoyed, and I finally found that. I don't know how deep y'all want me to go
Hey, let the Lord use you.
into it without, because I had thought about this. I don't want to even call anybody out. But as far as, like, example, you know, we had bishops, married bishops, just trying to take me and my son on vacations. You had a church that I went to most of my life, but I wasn't necessarily a member. Like, my name was never, you know, written down in. But this is how the church was, honestly. I'm not trying to throw any shade or anything like that. It wasn't very orderly anyway, so it was a lot of us in there that were not members. But when it came to me, now, I taught Vacation Bible School there. You know what I mean? I was the youth choir director, all this stuff. My membership never mattered. You know what I'm saying? When I was serving, which I love to serve, I have no problem serving, but my membership never mattered until I asked to be baptized, for me and my son to be baptized. They said no because I'm not a member. So
Okay, it matter now.
Yeah, it mattered then. And then, so I was like, well, you know, I don't have a problem with becoming a member. That's no problem. I've been here. But I just kept thinking about it. And a week passed and went back to church next Sunday. So I went back to the lady, and I said, well, just answer me this question. I needed to know. If a stranger came in off of the street and asked you and just said, you know, the Lord led me here to you. He told me to come in this place. He has never stepped foot in this church ever before in life. You don't know him. He's never been in here. And he said, I've been led here to be baptized. What would you say to him? She said, technically, you would have to say no. And she gave me that answer, and I no longer wanted to be a member of that church because I don't agree. Right. You know, I don't agree with that. Where in the Bible does it say that? All these rules and regulations, like where is that?
So the spirit got sucked out the room real quick.
You gotta have a membership.
Yeah, to be baptized. I mean, that's just like that's you one of. That was
ain't
just
baptizing
one
over here. You remember? They probably want you to pay the water bill or something.
Right. Yeah. Something. But it all worked out in the end. I wanted to be dipped anyway. I was dipped somewhere else. I had to travel all the way, you know, to Raleigh. Thank God they baptized me there, and they were really, really a blessing and supportive for me. But yeah, that was one of my experiences. But in the article, I just went way too deep right there. I'm just thinking I went way too much in detail right there.
Somebody being helped, though.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Right?
But, like I said, I'm not church hurt. And what I wanted everybody in the article to know, just because people act crazy does not mean that Jesus is not who he says he is. It doesn't mean that he's not, you know, everything that he's supposed to be, everything that he claims to be, everything that he says he is. Just because people, like my dad always told me, and I said this in the article too, my dad always said, people will be people. And I have kept that with me forever. So if you act a certain way towards me, people will be people. I mean, yeah, it might rub me the wrong way, but it's not going to keep me from pursuing my relationship with God, and I don't want it to keep other people from pursuing their relationship with God just because somebody in church hurts your feelings.
Right.
It's okay. You're going to get your feelings hurt inside church, outside church, because people will be people. You know what I'm saying? But God said what? He is the I am, and he's always going to be the I am. I mean, that's who he is. So you have to know. I just want people to get it, and I feel like that is one of the things I'm passionate about. I just want people to get that Jesus is Jesus, God is God. People are people. They don't represent God the right way all the time, but it doesn't change who he is. So that's what we talked about in the article. I just want people to get that.
Yeah, tell them how to get that.
Hopefully they are getting it if they tuned in.
Right. If
you said a lot of nuggets that just came out of your spiel right here. Like a lot of jewels just came out. I want you to repeat that. People gonna be people.
People will be people.
You're gonna get hurt in the church, outside the church.
Yeah.
For those with thin skin thinking they ain't gonna get hurt on this journey.
And the more you pursue God, and the closer you become with him, and the stronger your relationship is with him, the more people gonna come after you. It's like the devil. You know what I'm saying? Just throwing everybody, everything at you. So if you think when you become saved or when you grow in the Lord and you become a Christian, if you think that everything is just gonna be rainbows and lollipops, you know what I'm saying? That's not what it is. And it's all about your relationship with God. And you said, we'll tell the people, how do they? What did you say? How do they know that? How do they get there? How do they
get that magazine interview.
You have to, get the interview and get what I'm saying.
Get what you saying, but it's in the interview, right?
It's in the interview.
It's in the Lovers magazine. There it is.
Lovers magazine. But to get what I'm saying, to understand who God is, you have to spend time with him. And you have to spend time in the Word. You're not going to know who he is just because you go to church and you listen to a sermon, or just because you tell me about him. Right? So I could tell you about him all day, but until you experience him for yourself,
personally,
I have my relationship with him, and I want you to get it too. But you can't just go off of what I say, because everything I say is not going to be right.
Right.
So that's how you get it. That's how you get the magazine. Lovers magazine. Google it.
Do some research.
Google it.
I mean,
don't Google. Just go to the Bible for Jesus.
But we want people to know some good parts. He's talking on some good parts now. People do you bad now. Keep on holding on the fact that she's still going. She's staying encouraged. Because people like to say, oh, yeah, the church is. They this and that. And then they want to ride that little wave.
Mark Levy, she said she wasn't church hurt.
She wasn't. It ain't deeply.
It's not deep.
I'm not scarred.
People.
Are you mocking me? me?
No, I'm
No.
not. I'm not.
I know
You
I'm
just
not
built a
stuck.
different way. That's all. You built a different way. Some
Then-
people, they go,
Some people, they can't handle it.
yeah, they go real far with
They
it.
get church hurt for real.
And I think that has a lot to do with my mom and my dad too. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
said, I don't.
And Deborah Barnes,
Deborah Barnes, and she will sing you into heaven. Angels.
I know that right.
So let's talk about the writing process. When you're, developing songs and you feel like the Lord is revealing or I don't know, weighing heavy on you, or I don't know how this happens for you, but just take us through the writing process of you creating and writing the songs that you come up with.
To be honest with y'all, it's not like I sit down and write.
Mhm.
Most of the time when music comes to me, I'm in either driving and there's nothing on the radio and I start singing to myself, or I'm in the shower and I'm singing to myself. That's how songs always come. And my producer's always like, when I go in and sing, he's always like, you didn't write this down? I don't write a lot of stuff down. It's just in my head.
Yeah.
I already know how, and I don't play music. I'm not a producer, but when I write the song out, I already know, I'm already hearing stuff. I already know how I want the song to go. So the process is not like I'm writing down with a pen and pad. I just sing something, and if it feels right, I'll keep singing. If it doesn't, I'll put a pin in it and then come back to it. A lot of stuff gets trashed because a lot of it sometimes is trash.
Yeah. Leave it to your son, huh?
Sometimes I won't even let him hear it. No. But yeah, that's just basically in the shower, in the car, and then take it to my producer and we try to work it out. And that is the real process because I can't play. It's like I'm trying to get you to understand what I want to hear. So that part is always a little tricky because then it's like, well, if I'm not hearing, I do this a lot, which probably gets on his nerves. If I'm not hearing what I want to hear, I kind of like, okay, let's put that to the side. And I'm just tearing this mic up. Let's put that to the side and then let's move on to the next song. But he wants to stick right here. You know what I'm saying? I know he's listening and probably like, she is most difficult, like, because he says I'm very picky. I'm not difficult. I'm just picky. I want to hear what I want to hear. And because my dad is a guitar player and because I'm so used to that, that's my favorite instrument. And in a lot of my songs, I want to hear that guitar. In a lot of my songs, it has to stand out. Of course, if it makes sense in the song. But I wanted to stand out. I always want, and Nothing Compares to You, there's a guitar solo. If you go back to my EP, God's Got It, Hello, there's a guitar solo. I just love the sound of a guitar. I love the way you can make it talk. And just, I just love that
You
sound.
sound like me.
Yeah.
Between the bass and the lead, like probably two of my favorite instruments.
The lead,
Yeah.
the lead is, I like the bass too, but the lead is really, like I said, probably because of my dad, but the lead is, I just think it's pretty. Everything that you can do with a guitar. Yeah. But that's my writing process. Nothing too crazy.
So I guess perfect time to jump into Nothing Compares to You, and you want to talk a little bit about that as far as maybe what was going on at that time when that song dropped in your spirit.
Well, all of my music is very personal, probably a little bit too transparent, but Nothing Compares to You, it wasn't happening at the time that I wrote the song. It was like a past experience, trying to find, I won't say love, but kind of like happiness in a relationship. And then you get in the relationship and you entertain this relationship, but I was still feeling like I'm missing something, like this is not, you know what I'm saying? I had no business even being in that relationship, but because I was, you know how you just feel, you get sick of being single or tired of being alone, and then you're feeling like you get in your, and you get in your feelings. That's where I was.
Yeah.
So I wrote about that past experience, just trying to figure it out. But then, I had to literally go to God. Like, I fast a lot when I feel like something is just not right in my spirit. I always end up fasting. I always end up going back to God and just like praying and talking, and that's how the song came out, really. Nothing compares to you. Nothing can feel me like you feel me. Nobody can love me like you love me or do me like you do me.
Right.
And so that's basically what this song's about. Nothing compares to Jesus.
All right. Well, for our listeners, we're going to go right into it. Nothing Compares to You by Brittany Marley.
Whoop whoop.
we're back. 108 Praise Radio Aspiring Artist Showcase. We
Yes,
got
sir.
Miss Brittany Marley in the studio with us. And as you just heard, the beautiful worship, nothing compares to you and the space that came from. I think a lot of people can relate to that. And, you know, definitely, you know, as we know, the music that we make is ministry. You know, people definitely need to hear that. But for those that are just tuning in or that have already been tuned in, you can definitely call us. The lines are open, 770-988-6461. That's 770-988-6461. She has a lot of wisdom, a lot of experience. You know, don't let the look fool you. Looking young, but definitely experienced. Definitely experienced in some things, man. And,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure a lot more. I'm pretty sure a lot more things to go through. But so what's next for Miss Brittany?
I'm working on finishing up the rest of the album. Nothing Compares to You was the last song I was releasing before the entire album comes out. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'm not even going to throw a date out there right now because, like I said, I'm very picky and I'll shut something down in a minute.
No problem. Huh? On to the next. So, I mean, with that being said, are there any artists that you would see yourself working with or willing to work with?
I just really like Jonathan McReynolds.
Yeah.
He's one of the ones because I feel like we're not similar. I'm not saying we're similar, but like I said, as far as his tone and stuff, I feel like I can hang with him.
Okay. That's what's up.
Like
Now, don't get me
Jonathan.
wrong, okay? I can sing if I have to.
Okay. All right.
No, but Jonathan McReynolds really, Tamala Man, you think that's a stretch? I just love her. I love her voice.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
like
know about
Tamala Man.
working with her, but
Yeah, I
like I
like
love
Tamala
Tamala Man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of artists. I love Lisa Knowles. Actually, because on Instagram I sing a lot of covers. So I sang one of Lisa Knowles' songs, and you know she commented on it, said she loved it. I sung Anthony Brown's was it Trust in You?
Okay.
He, you know, liked it, posted it on his Twitter page. I get noticed by them. They always retweet or like or whatever. So, you know, I love Lisa Knowles' voice. I would love to work with her too.
Sounds like it's definitely catching wave. The sound, your sound, that is.
God,
Amen.
because I get noticed more by them than, you know,
Local.
your hometown.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's going backwards. I always tell my family, like, I feel like I'm going like in the opposite direction, which I'm not complaining because, you know, these are like the stars noticing me. But normally it's like you get love from your hometown, you get love from, you know, other artists and stuff like that. But for them, even Tina Campbell, all them to recognize me is like, whoa.
Major.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely
Super, man.
inspiring to keep at it.
That's God.
Hey.
That's all I can say. I really, it is really, really, really him. Because, like I said before, if it wasn't, I would not be doing this. Because I don't think I would have the courage.
Okay, man, let's dive into this relationship with your sister now. The reason why she not here, is it because she's shy or y'all got to arguing before you got up here? What happened? Why she not here? Why she ain't at the show? Okay.
No, she's not on the show because she just swears up and down she cannot sing anymore. That's why she's not on the show.
She done.
She's been done for years. She's been done.
You ain't going to let it go.
I did let it go, but I just wanted to call her out on the radio because she's listening.
Okay. All right.
So it's be next Mary girl.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, everybody love Mary. Love Mary.
That is why she's not here, and she's shyer than me, as far as the singing part goes. Just because she thinks she can't sing, but she really can.
Okay.
And my son can sing, and
Is
he
that
can
dancing?
sing better than me. I feel like, but I had him lead songs in church, but other than that, like because he had to, he didn't have a choice. Other
Okay,
than that, he
yeah.
won't. But
Well, I
he
don't
can
wanna
sing
do
better
that,
than
Mom.
me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's see if we can reach out to some of these locals, man. We got Brittany Marley, man, on the 108 Praise Radio Show, man. You want to call in, talk to Brittany Marley, man. The number is 770-988-6461, man. Y'all can call in, chop it up with Brittany Marley, man. Great personality, great uplifting spirit, man, you know. And I'm having a good time hanging out with her.
Me too.
I have a good time too.
All right, so Brittany, let these people get your social media just in case they want to reach out to you. And
Social media, Instagram is
Mm-hmm.
Brittany Marley Music, and Twitter is Brit_Marley. it's a lot of Brittany Marley, so I gotta switch it up everywhere.
Be
And
distinctive. Yeah.
Facebook is Brittany Marley Sings.
Okay. Well, it's on me, so I got to ask this question. See, we perform, we do a lot of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know we have some favorite moments and we have some embarrassing moments. Okay, we have some embarrassing moments. I can give you an example of mine. I remember one time we was doing my favorite song, I say it all the time, Jumping for Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And then jumped up on these chairs and they did not hold up.
Mm-hmm.
They fell. And you would think after one of my friends saw that it failed, he wouldn't jump up there. Well, he jumped on right up there behind me and his chair fell too.
And the whole row just flopped.
And then if that wasn't enough, we went backstage, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. See, I've been holding it here for a long time, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell the truth
Don't
now.
spill the beans.
I'm gonna go and tell the truth. The truth will set you free.
Who did it?
It was me, man. It was me. I knocked down all the curtains. Just the whole backstage curtains just.
In front of everybody?
Well, it was backstage, but
This was supposed to be VIP.
Oh.
So he destroyed the VIP section.
Oh.
everybody looking around trying to figure out who did it. I'm just standing there like this.
Like you ain't done nothing.
Christians.
We got to get up out of here. So I finally got that off my chest. I told the truth. I am so sorry. It was not on purpose. But was there any embarrassing moments? It don't have to be your embarrassing moment. It could be one of your favorite moments from performing. Just because that's actually one of my favorite moments. I'm not going to lie. It was hilarious now that I look back on it. So any
the same
favorite
time.
or embarrassing moments?
I'll do embarrassing first. Embarrassing moment, I was singing a song off of my EP, Just Be Me, which is it was a fan favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm up there singing, you know, ay, whatever.
Mm.
And I say, just be me. You're supposed to, like, repeat after me. So I'm like, just be me. And I put it out there. Y'all's, like, dead silent.
No support.
And I'm just like, now y'all want me to sing this song, but okay. So I'm like, just be me. You know what I'm saying? That is my most embarrassing. I hope that's not too bad. And it's not, like, falling and knocking over stuff. But that's my most embarrassing. And my favorite moments is when I'm done singing and then people come up to me and tell me, you know, that I've moved them or blessed them, because that's what I want to do. That's what I aim to do. Bring you closer to God. And like I said, like, make you feel like Deborah Barnes made me feel. And when they come up to me and tell me that, I feel like that's like a dream come true.
Okay.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, do you have any advice for any aspiring artists out there? Someone wants to become an artist. What advice would you give them?
First thing is, you know, let God lead you to where you're going to go. Don't try to do everything on your own, because I have tried to do it, that which came with the insecurity too. You try to do it on your own and you get shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody sees you. Nobody notices you. But until I, you know, was just like, okay, Lord, if this is what you want to do, if this is what I'm supposed to do, I'm going to hand it over to you. And then here I am. Sitting here with y'all, getting noticed by celebrities that I never thought that I would get noticed by.
Right? Yeah.
So definitely keep God first, and, you know, talk to Him before you talk to anybody. We always want to go to, like, I'll run to my dad or my sister or, you know, family and friends first. But the first person you really need to go to advise about your life is God.
Absolutely.
And then another thing, like I said before, be you. You can't be anybody else and claim to be walking in your calling. Like, you're not walking in your calling if you're trying to be somebody else and be like somebody else. So
That's true.
You know, just be yourself
Let the Lord do it.
and enjoy it and have fun, which is what I'm trying to do. Don't be so stressed out, and just, that's the advice that I would give.
Awesome.
So it seems like just the journey has been, you know, Brittany being a little shy, so to speak, apprehensive, looking for comfort and just, you know, some way to just settle. But lo and behold, the Lord just keeps pulling, whether it's a demand from people, whether it's a demand from life, and just pretty much pushing you into these different levels and these different opportunities that you're finding yourself in.
Always calling my name is what I just told my mom last night. He always calls my name, using somebody else. Every time I'm somewhere, for instance, I was going to a concert. I won't call the person's name, but I was going to a concert, And the week before the concert, God said, so and so is going to call your name on stage. Now I'm thinking, is this me? Because who wouldn't want the star, the celebrity to call your name? So I'm thinking,
Right.
Is this me? So I sat down and I was like, Lord, if this is you, this is what this means. I can't tell you what it said. It's between me and the Lord. But I said, this is what this means. So I go to the concert, forgetting all about it. I just let it go. I get there. The person gets on stage. They sing like one song, and then said, I know somebody's here. I know she's out there. Brittany, I want to say Marley, just called my name out of nowhere. Mind you, I didn't post that I was going to this concert anywhere on social media. So how he knew I was there was only God. Because the whole week before, he said that this person was going to call my name, and they did. Like, out of nowhere. And that was not the first time this happened. It's been happening since I was little. Every time my name got called for an award, I would always look at my friend and say, it's me. I always knew it was me. How? I do not know. But it was always me. So I just feel honored and blessed and, highly favored. Like I was telling my mom last night, it's one thing to know that God knows you. Like, we all know that God knows you. But to know that you really know my name, like, for sure, and you use these people to call my name, and you keep calling me out, So I have nothing else to do but to come out. I can't keep, hiding behind all my insecurities and what people said about me and all this stuff. You keep calling my name, and I'm honored that you are calling my name, so I'm going to come out.
So, has it ever dawned on you, even with your sister and wanting her to be here, and you saying to her being shyer than you?
That's not meant to be. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, actually, that you can be inspiring her and showing her the way to where eventually, who knows? Have you ever thought about it that way?
As far as inspiring her to sing, no, because that's not happening. No, but maybe inspiring her. I know we talk about a lot of the things that she wants to do and a lot of things that I want to do. Like, we encourage each other on our dreams.
Okay.
So, but inspiring her to sing, that's dead. No.
So what would be that encouraging word that, you find that the Lord has laid on your heart that you would share with someone else in the midst of the process?
To just go for it. Don't be scared. Have no fear. Because like I said before, if you are a team, you're on the right team. You're on God's team. And if you know that He's calling you to do something, I just say go for it.
Period. Exclamation point.
Period. You want me to keep going?
Yeah. No, he good. He good. Hey.
He said, yeah.
There's more in your heart, share. But I think that's enough. Go for it. I mean, a lot of people sitting back on their gifts. And I think, people do tend to get discouraged about what people are going to say or even how people are looking at them. And then I know even with this social media age that we're in, it's about numbers. So some people, because they're not getting certain numbers, they feel like they're not doing enough or that it's not effective.
That was me too. Looking at the numbers, I'm just like, but once again, it does not matter because God still is elevating me without those numbers. Like, you don't need the past sermon this past Sunday, the pastor was talking about you don't need to social network all the time. Like, God literally told him, I don't want you to do anything. Like, he was going to link him up with a pastor. He said, I don't want you to touch him. He was in the church with him, like sitting right behind him. He told the man, I don't want you to touch him. I don't want you to speak to him. I don't want you to do anything because I want you to know that I'm doing this. Don't social network with anybody. So you don't have to have all that. Really, all you have to have is God.
Truthfully.
And then trust him, and then he will literally make the way for you. So
Definitely.
the numbers used to bother me, and then I would see other people, and I'm like, where is all this support coming from? Why is it not coming to me? Like, what is going on? But you don't need all that. Society says that you need that to make it or to do whatever, but you really don't. It's proven with me and what's going on with me. I don't have the best, social media numbers. I don't. But people continue to buy my music. People continue to share my music. And to be honest with y'all, I wasn't even going to tell you this. When I submitted my music here, I didn't really know that it was like, you can possibly get an interview. I did see the question, and it said, do you want the interview? I promise to you. I clicked no. Because, let me tell you why.
Look at the Lord.
No, let me tell you why, though. Because, again, like, you feel unqualified or not ready. I'm like, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I saw the email come through. And I called my mom and dad. I'm like, y'all, I said no. But God was like, yes.
We got you
are
now.
going.
Yeah, we overlooked that one.
I clicked no. And I'm like, And so I'm here. Yeah. So all you really need is God, because he will make a way for you and push you out there and give you all the confidence in the world.
Hey, won't he do it? Ain't he doing it?
Yeah.
Ain't he doing it?
Oh yeah, I'm a little concerned about how your father inspired you with the guitar and things of that nature. Even implementing solos and a few songs here and there. So I'm wondering, did you ever dibble and dabble into the guitar?
I did.
And how did that work?
I picked it up a little bit.
A little bit.
He bought me. I had made him buy me an acoustic guitar for Christmas. And
Okay.
he asked me if I played it anywhere. Though I haven't, because to be honest with y'all, my fingers are so weird. Like I just cannot. I pop them all the time. Honestly, like I cannot. It is something about how you have to hold your fingers. I can't play and just keep. You know what I mean? And just keep
Trying to run it, roll it.
I
Yeah.
just cannot. It just hurts so bad. I guess I don't have the discipline to do that right now. But I do feel like I'm going to pick it up at some point. I haven't given up on that yet. And he's waiting on me to play it too.
I know that right. He bought you one now.
I know. And every time he comes to my
Come
house,
on now, Dad done spent a little money now.
he comes over, and who's the one pulling it out? Get the little dust off of it. Yeah, but no, he plays it more than me. I used to try to sit when I was at home. He would try to teach me some stuff, and then I would pull up YouTube tutorials and stuff like that. I just cannot, not right now. I'm not called for that right now.
Putting up YouTube
Right now.
tutorials.
Right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not right now.
All right, now you being an inspiration, you going forward doing your thing, and a lot of people they seeing what you're doing and they noticing you. I'm really curious, did your group from school stay in touch with you? I know they got to be watching now.
Well, before all
They
of
stay
this,
into-
we all kind of because one of the girls she's my cousin. I keep in touch with her, obviously.
Okay, that's family.
And I told her before I met you came out, girl, this was supposed to be me and you. I tell everybody that it's supposed to be
That's what I'm
us.
saying. Like, Mary ain't but two now.
You know that it's
Y'all
supposed
left
to be.
me hanging.
It's supposed to be us.
Right.
But, yeah.
You gonna bring somebody with you.
Yeah.
That's a good spirit.
I was trying.
Yeah, it's a good spirit.
They can still come with me. I'll be on stage by myself. But trust and please, we're gonna be at these award shows and stuff together.
But see, the Lord knew that, and He put your dad with you.
Yep.
He knew that.
Yes, he did.
Put your dad right on with you, flying with you, handling the business. He doing the networking.
I know, and he's back there talking to you, and he was ready for the interview, right? I mean, I'm just like this. I'm not saying
Chilling for a minute.
I'm trying to
He
talk,
started
and
rising
then
up like, hey.
yeah, had a full blown conversation.
I'm saying.
And he was back there getting interviewed, and I'm
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, you might as well pull up a chair.
Them gospel airs kicked in.
Gospel airs. Oh, they used to be the best group. Anyway.
Hey, dad had to, impart the gift on to the daughter, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now the daughter doing her thing.
Everybody has their own lane and gift to pursue. So,
I know that right.
but what I want to talk about
Okay. Let's speak on it.
is macaroni, Tony.
Let's get on that macaroni.
Oh, this is what I want to talk about. Go ahead and promote yourself for 5 seconds.
Hey man, I'm not going to talk about. Go check that thing out. That's all I'm gonna say. Go check that thing out.
Oh, that was too funny to me.
What's wrong with my hair?
What was your favorite part about macaroni Tony?
The hair part. I'm telling you. I told y'all before. It just looked like you needed to cut that thing. like smelling like a little something.
She on Misty side. She on Misty side.
Yeah.
Man, Swigger was supposed to get me right.
Hey. You just be still.
I don't know what was going on with that.
But
But yeah, that was pretty funny. It was pretty good. Like Macaroni Tony. It sounds like a Martin character. Macaroni Tony.
Yeah. Macaroni Tony.
well, Brittany, we surely appreciate you coming out and fellowshipping with us today. We had a wonderful time with you.
Awesome.
Really quickly, if people want to book you, is there any place you won't go, and then how can they book you?
I will go anywhere you want me to come.
Okay.
You know, And you can book me. Email is BrittanyMarley@ymail.com.
Okay. Say that one more time.
BrittanyMarley@ymail.com. My website is being worked on, so that information will come later.
You go anywhere.
Anyway, yeah, I'm ready. I told you guys calling me out.
No, we performed at a funeral.
Home.
No, that's not. No, listen, that's not where I can't.
And we did Jumping for Jesus.
At a funeral home.
Mm-hmm.
Dread swinging and everything.
At a funeral home.
Yeah, with the old people.
Were they jumping for
In
Jesus?
front of hearses.
But they weren't necessarily jumping. They were doing this.
I mean, literal now. Literal.
I'm not paying. I'm
But
not.
we're not joking. I'm so serious. We're not joking.
Literal.
No, I'll go anywhere. I do not do funerals.
Okay.
My family has had me do that before. I just cannot. No.
Okay.
I can't do funerals. That's what I won't do. There you go.
Awesome. Well, anything you want to leave the people with before we get out of here?
I just want to say thank y'all for having me on this show.
Absolutely.
It was a blessing. It was an honor, and it was very fun. I didn't know how you guys were gonna be honest.
You know we ain't gonna forget that you didn't check that box.
But it wasn't because of you. It was because of me.
I want to be here.
I didn't want to. I said I wasn't. I thought I
You're
wasn't.
gonna always be the unchecker.
But who flew out here though? Stop.
Hey,
see,
see,
don't do that.
see, she
Yeah,
made
I
up for
flew
it.
out
Yes,
here.
she did. Yeah,
Flew
see,
out.
throw that in. That was smooth. That was smooth.
And that's a wrap. No.
Tune in next week. We got y'all.
But on a serious note, man, thanks for tuning in to 108 Praise Radio, the Aspiring Artist Showcase with them Royalty Boys. Catch us on Mondays, 7 to 8 p.m. And don't forget to follow our girl, Brittany Marley. What's that social media one more time?
Instagram, Brittany Marley Music. Twitter, Brit_Marley. Facebook, Brittany Marley Sings.
Hey, there it is. We love you, and God loves you too. We out.
We out there.